Hello and welcome to the Noopt instructional video on how to load code onto your own personal sensors. This video is for anyone who's bought their own sensors and needs to load code onto them in order for them to work with our curriculum. In order to work with our instruments, the sensors need to be loaded with code that we've created in order to communicate to the websites. So the first step is going to be going to this website here, create.arduino.cc/getting-started/plugin/welcome. Once you're on this website, it will try and recognize to see if the Arduino Create agent is installed on your computer. So all you need to do is hit the Start button. It will then show you a download. So you can download the Create agent. It's detected my computer's format, which is Windows. If you're using Mac, it will be the same process for downloading a program. You'll click the button Download for Windows 32 or Windows 64, depending on your computer's operating system. If you're on a Mac, it will say Download for Mac. Mine is Windows 64, so I'm going to click on Download for Windows 64. It shows that my download has been downloaded, so now I'm going to run this installer. So now the Create agent has been installed on my computer. It will show up here. Some drivers need to be installed. Do you want to continue? Hit yes, and then you can hit the next button. And then congratulations, you're all set. You have installed the Arduino Create agent. So in order to create an account in the web editor, you can click on this Go to Web Editor button. Once we're here at the Arduino sign-in page, you can either create an account here, and if you click Create an Account, it will ask what your birthday is. It will then ask you to enter your email, choose a username, choose a password, and agree to some terms, and then you can sign up. Or what you can do is you can sign in, and you can sign in with any of these services. If you have a school Google, you can sign in with your school Google account. Once you've signed in, you will be greeted with a new sketch. And so now what we need to do is we need to get the correct sketch for the sensors. So what that'll look like is something like this. So this sketch has all the code that the sensors need in order to communicate with the computer. In order to get this code, what you need to do is go to our website. So that is playnoopt.github.io/app/sensorinfo.html. On this page called Sensor Information, there is our code embedded here, Noopt sensor code. So this is the code, the same code that I just showed you. And you can open the code by clicking this Open Code button. When you open the code, it will open the editor. Then you can click Open in Web Editor. Once you've clicked that, it will open in your Arduino Cloud account, and it'll be called Noopt Sensor Code. So now what you need to do is change these two lines, lines 5 and line 6. Line 5 has this identifier, and you can see the comment, the name must have the channel number somewhere in the name. Everything else can be changed. So for example, each of our curriculum, you can connect up to 3 sensors. That's the channel name, 1, 2, or 3. So for this first one, it's going to be sensor number 1. And then this channel number right here has to match the first one. So if it's sensor number 1, I'll change this number also to a 1. The next thing you're going to do is plug in your sensor, plug that into your computer. Once you've done that, it should say that a board has been recognized. So here it says board has been connected. And now what we can do is load the code onto the sensor. You can click this drop down here. It might pop up here, board on COM5, which is the USB port I plugged it into, and it's recognizing it as an M5 stick C. You can also select board and port, type in M5 stick C on COM5, which is the port that I plugged it in, and then all the defaults are okay, so you can click OK. So once that has all been configured, board is M5 stick C on COM5, which is the port I plugged it in. That COM number might be different depending on which USB port on your computer you've plugged it into. The next thing you need to do is verify and save this code because you want to save the change you made to the sensor number. This will load and stay busy until it's done. So now it says success, saved on your online sketchbook. The next thing you need to do is click upload and save. This will upload the code onto your sensor so that it works with our website. So click this button, upload and save. It will say busy again, and down here in the console, it will show progress. Once it's finished, your sensor will flash, and then it will be loaded with our code. Next, plug in your next sensor if you have more than one. If you just have one, you can stop there. If you have a second one, plug in your second sensor, change these numbers. This will be sensor 2, and you need to change the channel number to 2 as well. And then you can click upload and save. Once it says success here and hard resetting the pin, then the code has been uploaded on your second sensor. Next, you can unplug that sensor, plug in your next sensor. Change these numbers again. If this is your third sensor, change this to sensor 3. Change this channel number to 3, and then click upload and save. Once it says success, you can unplug your third sensor. And now if you have any more, go ahead, plug it in, and just start the process from the beginning. Since there can only be 3 different sensors connected to our website, we can change this number from 3 to 1, and we can change the channel number back to 1. Only 3 unique sensors can be connected to our website, so you only have to worry about changing this identifier and channel from 1 to 2 to 3, and then back to 1 again. So you'll always be in a loop of 1, 2, and 3. It's nice to have sensors in groups of 3 so you can have them grouped in this way. What can be helpful if you have more than one group of sensors is to label these sensors with unique identifiers. So instead of having sensor 1 again, we might have sensor 1A, and then in this group have sensor 2A and sensor 3A. And then once we get around back to 1 again, change it to sensor 1B, sensor 2B, and then sensor 3B, changing the channel number to reflect which number it is. For example, if this was sensor 3B, this would be MIDI channel number 3. You can change the name, this identifier, to anything you'd like as long as it makes sense to you, but the only thing that has to be there is the number 3 if this is sensor 3. If this is sensor 1, it needs to have the number 1, and the channel number needs to match that. So that is the only important criteria. The name must have this channel number somewhere in it, so it needs to have a 1 somewhere. The 1 could be here at the beginning if you wanted, or it could be here at the end, but it needs to be in there somewhere. And this channel number, line number 6, needs to match the number in the identifier. So if this is a 1, this needs to be a 1. And if this is a 2, then this needs to be a 2. They need to match. Thank you so much for watching this informational video on how to load code onto your sensors to get them working with our curriculum.